Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at ADA. We've had a nice push to the upside here and there's a few things we need to talk about. There's a couple of options that could play out here and we're going to be investigating them all later on in the video. But before we jump into that, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback in the comment section down below. Okay, so we need to talk about this move because there's a few things that could be going on here. And primarily until we actually cross above this 43.78, I am still looking at this as a potential diagonal. And if we zoom out slightly here, what they would be looking at is that this would be a potential 1, 2, 3, and this could effectively be the fourth wave. So this could just be a 5-wave move, then we retrace and we form another 5-wave move as a fourth. Alternatively, we have actually come up and crossed this wave 1 now, which we talked about in one of the previous videos. So this was going to be one of the things we had to do for this to be considered as a diagonal. So we have actually moved up to this point, and if we have a look and we draw this trend line along here, we can see that we've actually faced rejection at this top line here. So it is possible that we could start to look to break down from here. However, there is also a bullish count which is looking for more upside potential. And if that's the case, then effectively we would have to talk about a couple of things. But what we're looking for in this is the potential that unless we cross above this 43.78, it is still possible for us to complete an additional leg to the downside as a zigzag, and that would be a diagonal structure. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Like I said, moving above this 43.78 would invalidate that, so we need to bear this in mind. So I was initially expecting this to be a contracting diagonal, but basically within this move now, it can't be, because this wave 1 and this wave 3 is actually longer than this wave 1. So this could mean that we actually have an expanding diagonal within this structure. And that could allow for this fourth wave to actually come out a bit more if this does develop as a bigger zigzag and still be viable. So until we cross below this 43.78 zone, basically we could still have this move to the downside as a fifth wave. Alternatively, what we could have here, actually let's just go. So this could, when looking at this potentially as a fourth wave, what we could argue is that we could effectively argue we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 up into this high point here. That would then set this up for the next leg. And if we throw this on, even though it's not a very big B wave, we can argue that from this point here, we haven't actually reached this 1.618. So if this is a 5 wave, with this small B wave in the middle here, we could actually have completed, and we could be looking to break down from this point where this is an A, B, and a C to the upside. Alternatively, like I said, we'd have to wait for more confirmation of this, and what we'd want to see is impulsive structure to the downside in a 5-wave move. However, there is also the alternative that we are looking to form a different structure, and one of the things we were talking about in the previous videos, if we turn on we're talking about this potential of having this this is a 5-wave move completed into here. So we can see that we were already previously tracking this potential as a 5th wave into there, and it is therefore possible that this could actually be a different structure within here, or it could be an extension. So if I change this out of here, let's put on the extension. So we were looking for this potential of an extension in here. We were looking at this as potentially a wave 3 point into there, and then potentially a 5th wave to the upside. So this is also still viable. This could be an extended 5th wave here, though I think more likely if we're going to be looking at this as a 5-wave move, effectively I think that we would rather have something else going on. And basically what I would be looking at then is the most likely option. I'm actually going to turn off this diagonal for now, just so it's clearer. And what we'd be looking for is, if this is going to develop as a 5-wave move, rather I would be looking at this move like this, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into here for 1, and then we could be getting this as an extension as a 5-wave move to the upside. So we can count an additional leg in here, but I think that this is most likely because of the size of this correction here. I think it would match up better with this as a wave 2 here. So if that's the case, what we'd look for is a 1, 2, 3 up into this high, and we'd be looking for this as a 4th wave into this low point here. So the most we'd want to go for this as a fourth wave effectively would be this 30 cent 70, though it wouldn't be invalidated unless we actually move down towards this 2806 range over here. So that would be looking at this whole move here as a wave 3, 4, and then we're looking for this target zone here, which if we are actually completed would be up into that zone here of this 36.55 to this 35.33. However, should we come down slightly lower towards this 50% zone, then obviously this would move this target zone up higher, and that would be towards that 37.26 to that 35.59. So that could be a little area we look to target out if we do move back to the upside. From that point, what I'd be looking for is whether we get an additional fourth wave. So if we do move up into this zone, whether we manage to get, we retrace down and we manage to find support again within this zone and look to push up for one more fifth wave. If this does play out as we have it shown here, basically what I'd be looking at is this is a completed movement to the upside here, and it could potentially mean that we could then start to break down. So if we do get this as a 5-wave move and we get these additional legs here, what I'd be looking for then, depending exactly how far this fifth wave would travel, what we'd be looking for then is the potential of coming back down into a retracement zone as a B wave. And what that zone would be this 29.93 to this 26.33 as a typical area to look out for. So that would be this little zone here, and basically what we'd be looking for then is the potential that we could either form a bigger 5-wave move, or alternatively it could just be, like we were talking about previously, just an ABC to the upside, and that could potentially look to move. Depends exactly where it would retrace, but potentially on this we would have the ability to move up towards this 4455 zone. So this would put us right in the range of this invalidation for the diagonal. So even if we do invalidate this as a diagonal, the problem we have is that we still have the potential to extend from these zones. So if I throw on this red box zone, this could be a potential area that we could look to get rejected from. So we could see that that 1-to-1 would actually take us quite close to this 0.618 zone, which would also be retesting some of this previous support here. So we just have to be careful that even if we do get this bigger push to the upside here, that we wouldn't actually get rejected and look to continue to the downside again. So we just need to be aware that even if we do get some more bullish structure here, until we get the right wavelengths, and basically what I mean by that is we'll only really get a more bullish picture if we had to retrace down to these zones and move back up past this 1.618. Then we could be talking about a bigger 5-wave move here, but it's still very early within this, so we can't get too excited because there's a few things that need to play out first. So if that was a case, we could look for a bigger 5-wave move, in which case we'd be more than likely starting a bigger move to the upside there. But until we do, we need to just bear in mind we could face rejection in this zone. So now there's another way of looking at this, and potentially if we're looking at it from this diagonal rejection zone, this is slightly different, and what that looks at is that we have this potentially as a wave 1 and a wave 2 up into this area. So if that's the case, this typical rejection zone would be anywhere between this 37.86 to this 48.98 zone. So this could also be a little area we need to watch if we do progress to the upside. Once again, we can see that this zone of this 42.05 would also keep us below this previous point of invalidating this diagonal. So we need to just keep an eye on it and see how we react. Should we fail to set these additional waves up here, we would need to be careful on what happens next. So if we get rid of all this stuff now, I'll get rid of this. There is potential that we could still see some further extension here, but the wave structure is indicating that either we're going to get this additional 4th and 5th, or basically this could look to break down and actually not be a 5-wave move and just be a 3-wave move, and we break down. So the area that I'd be looking for support if we do actually just start to break down from this point, so we could potentially find support anywhere between this 50% zone to the 786 at a at a maximum area if we were looking for further progression. And then that would be looking for the potential of having this as an A, potentially come down, retest these zones, and then look for that as a C wave to the upside. So we'll have to just give it a bit of time and see how these waves start to react from the top here. It is possible that we have that further extension within this move, and you're looking out for these higher target zones here. Though we need to see if we get this fourth wave. If we fail to hold this fourth wave position and we actually move down past this 2806, then it would actually indicate that this could just be a corrective move to the upside, and we could be starting a new trend to the downside in a 5-wave move. There's nothing really indicating that at the moment. The structure, yeah, there's not really much in this structure. We could argue that we have basically a 1-2, 1-2, but yeah, we'd still want to actually move down if we're looking at trying to look at it as a impulsive move. I don't think that it is, but if we do fail to break back above this high point here of this 3460, and basically I do think either way, even if this is 1, 2, 3, even if you're going to argue with setting up a further diagonal here, you would want to see him push down a little bit more and then that push to the upside. So off of the current zone, if we were looking for potential rejection to carry on to the downside, I'd be looking for this 3310 all the way up to this 3395 would be a typical zone, and that would be something where we could look for a bigger move to the downside if we have a B wave that isn't completed within here, and this is not just a simple move to the downside. It is also possible, looking at the structure, that we could argue that this is an ABC, and we could see some kind of a triangle shape develop in here, or it could just become more complex, where we look at this as an A wave down or a W wave down. This could become a B wave up, and then we could look for that pushback to the downside again. So this could take us deeper into this box if we fail to move back above this 3460. And if we actually look to break down further, what I'd be looking for, this is just working basically off of fibs, but if we moved back up to the 0.618, a move past this 1.618 here at 2895 would indicate to me that we're starting some 5-wave structure to the downside. Though none of this is confirmed, we need to wait and see how these react, see if we get this fourth and this fourth wave to the downside complete, fifth wave to the upside complete, and then look to see how we react from there. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Really appreciate all your guys' feedback, so if you feel like letting us know where you think this is going, drop it in the comment section below. Okay everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care out there.